right, we are going to teach the dog to bow using a magic square. Now this is actually a rainbow ladder. I don't have a magic square. So this works. You can make your own, or you can purchase one with do more with your dog. The magic square is just a little bit wider than this, and she tends to like to take naps in things that are round whenever I do it in exercise. She just curls up and goes to sleep. But this kind of a trick is a trick that we reward when the dog's in the correct behavior. Where you go, in the correct position. Sit, Chrissy, sit, wait. When the dog is in the correct position is when you reward them. So one of the ways we do this is by luring with a treat. And you can use any treat. Oftentimes a high value treat is really, really good in an exercise where the dog is doing a behavior that isn't real natural. However, bow is a natural behavior. That is something you see when they play with you or play with other dogs. So it is a natural behavior. You see a big girl. And so we're gonna lure her or your dog, whatever you're working with, and you can do this again with your own magic square that you make out of PVC pipe, or you can get one with do more with your dog. But one nice thing about using this technique is people often say, well, gosh, my dog lays down when I try to get them to bow. And this kind of helps them to understand that they're not supposed to lay down, because it's real awkward for them to lay down when you use this tool. A bow can be taught without a magic square, but it does make it quicker, it makes it easier. So how we do this is we lure the dog into the correct position. I like to use these kind of long treats. You can, like I said, you can use anything you want. But what's nice about this is I can just take off little tiny pieces at a time and reward her for staying in that behavior, staying in that position. That also helps gain the duration, instead of them saying, okay, I'm gonna bow, and then they pop right up, or they bow for a little bit and they lay down. And so we want them to stay in that position, because we might want them to look up at us or tilt their head or do whatever in the next step. But we have to get that first behavior down so they understand. Now, as with any trick, you often have a verbal cue and a physical cue. Interesting things about dogs is that they can read physical cues better than they can read verbal cues. So it's often a wonderful way to give them multiple different cues on how to do behavior. Now with bow, the typical cue for that is often, putting your leg behind you and doing a little curtsy. And some people call that trick curtsy, some people call it bow, some people call it other things because they might have words in their repertoire that sound very similar. So pick whatever works for you. We use bow because that's what we trained it for, but I would have probably used curtsy had I thought about it, because she's a girl dog, it says curtsy. Now this is a wonderful way to help them get their position. So we're gonna lure her into position, in. So good girl, wait. The trick of getting in something is also a helpful thing for this. Now what we're gonna try to do is have her bring her head underneath while her bottom is still up. That's what's clever about the magic square or your own or something similar to this. Come on over here, so I'll show you how this works. Come on, that's a girl. Yes, Prissy, yeah. And I'm gonna bring her head underneath here, but she's gonna get all the way in first. Come on, all the way in, yes. Now, I'm gonna bring her head underneath here. Come on, bring it down. That's a girl, yes, bow. Bow, yes, good girl, good bow. So I'm gonna jackpot her in this position. I'm gonna let her eat the whole treat because that's what I want her to do. And in the early stages, she's gonna get stuck in there, Yes, in the early stages, it's okay to do that. I'm gonna remove the magic square or this rainbow ladder because it's not quite as big as a magic square. And once they've learned the bow technique, using this, it's much easier to move on to a next step. Come here, Prissy, wait. Stand, Prissy, stand. So standing is also a good command for them to know because they need to start the bow from a standing position. So some of these things you don't have to have, but it is certainly helpful. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start using my verbal command as well as my hand command. So I'm at my body cue, per se, I'm gonna move my leg. So eventually my goal for her is as soon as I do this, she just bows. We haven't gotten that far yet, but we're working through it. So again, I would do Percy, give her the physical cue, and then I would ask her bow. And if she doesn't do it, good job, wait. Oh, do you see how she sat down? So they do sit down, they get a little lazy. And so again, as in other tricks, having them wait, stay in that position can often help them understand, oh, I'm supposed to stay here. But we're gonna have her do it again. Percy, come here. Percy, wait. Percy, stand. Stand. Wait. And so I'm going to do curtsy. And then I'm going to ask her, bow. Yes, wait. Yes. And I'm going to jack partner, wait. Yes, good girl. You're in that position. You're in that position. Yes, good girl. Okay, stand. That's a good girl. Yes, you're very good. That was a good bow. Again, teaching this trick in a time where your dog is not overexcited, wanting to play. They can be a little hungry. That can be helpful in your advantage too, because they want those treats because they're a little hungry. But never starve your dog to get them for treats. So you just do this over and over and over again until eventually I know when I do this, she's going to give me her bow. Bow. Oh, see, she didn't quite get it. And in situations like that, if they don't quite get it, that's okay. You can step back. Anytime your dog gets confused or upset or wound up, you can either stop and try again later. I always recommend though, if you do that when a dog messes up, never tell them that they're bad. You just say, oops, and I say, sit. Have them do something that they know that you can do and have them be successful. Because a dog that's often rewarded when they're successful is a dog that keeps trying. So I'm going to try this again. Stand. Yes, Percy. Curtsy. Oh, I used the wrong cue. Oh, almost. Almost. Yes, bow. Yes, good girl. I'm going to jackpot her for that because she did it. And again, time and repetition, using the correct cue and using the correct verbal cue. I shouldn't have changed it to curtsy because I was thinking about that. Will help them get what you want from them. And it'll be fun for both of you, and it's an adorable trick. Percy, look at me. I have cheese. Yes, one more time. Bow. Good girl. Good girl. And you know, I am luring her still, but that's okay. She just hasn't moved past that step of having to, of being able to do it without a lure and without a verbal cue. Eventually, I give her a couple more weeks. She will be doing this behavior with me across the room. Me just doing this, and she will bow. That's been my experience with training with her. Some dogs get these things really, really fast. Some dogs just take a little bit longer, and that's okay. Just have fun. Have fun with your dog. When you get frustrated, leave it aside. Come back to it again later, and just have fun.